This presentation is for Mr. Billberg's math class for fourth grade. So welcome. I'm super excited to have your child in math this year. I'm really excited to dig into what we're going to learn this year and to really challenge your child to succeed. So, a couple quick things with math class. The classes have been created to be the best instructional fit for each of your students based on their learning needs. So the groups are actually determined by third grade teachers' input as well as the spring 2019 NWEA RIT scores. And the fourth grade team really meets weekly to discuss student progress and if placements are correct or not. Here are some of my expectations for math. I kind of have five that are tried and true, and I really stress to each of the students that comes into our math class. So the first one is come ready to learn. It is so important to come ready to learn for math because we have a lot to cover in a short amount of time. So having that positive attitude, like the second bullet point says, will help a ton. Having grit and perseverance is another one. That's an expectation of my math students is because math is tough, and one of my goals is to challenge and push each one of these students to be the most successful and be the best that they can possibly be. And so that might include being okay, like the fourth bullet point says, being okay with failure. So having that grit, having that perseverance to get through those problems, to get through whatever they're going through, that's only going to help them in math, but also in life. And then the last one is just come ready to be challenged. My goal, like I said, is to challenge your student to be the best that they can possibly be. So some days they might come home a little frustrated because of math, or some days they might come home and say that I pushed them really, really far. Yes, I will push them to a point, but I will never make it so they are uncomfortable or where they have a negative view on math. I'm going to push them to explain their thinking. I'm going to push them to make sure that they are able to show me a different strategy to solve it. I'm going to push them to show their work so that they can explain it later on. I'm really just going to push and challenge them to be the best that they can be. So our math class routine, we always kind of warm up with math boxes when the students come in. We do their math boxes, and then we correct those math boxes and then go over the home link if there was if we got to the home link that the day previous, we'll correct those answers. Then we talk about the learning target for the day. We always start with a learning target of what we are aiming to learn for the day. Then we do the lesson. It's more of an I do, we do, you do lesson where I teach it. I teach the skill or strategy that we're learning. We do it together as a class, and then it's more of the independent time that they do it on their own. And so during that independent time, they're working on their workbook pages. And when they get done with those workbook pages, I use the home link, and I'll talk about this later on in a separate slide, but I use the home link as more of an extra practice. And that's a time at the end of math, last 15 minutes, where they do their home link and they have their snack. So my homework policy. So students are given the last 15 minutes in class to eat their snack and begin their homework. Now, I personally use the home link as an extra practice, not specific homework. So if the student does not get the homework or the home link done in class, but I feel like they've been working really hard and they are knowledgeable about the skill or strategy that we've learned that day, I don't send it home as extra practice, or I don't send it home as homework. Now, if you ever see a home link come home, what that means is that that student was not using their time wisely in class. So I always talk about how if we don't use our time wisely in class, we need to make up that time somewhere else. And since our math class is mixed between different homerooms, the easiest way is to do that as a homework. So again, if you see that home link come home, it is usually because time was not used wisely by that student in class. Again, I never want your students to feel frustrated while doing math homework at home. So please let me know if something's coming up where a student's overly frustrated. If that's the case, about if they're not grasping a certain skill or strategy, just have them stop and have them come talk to me in the morning or send me a quick email just to let me know of the situation because I don't want your student to have a negative view on math. So topics that we'll cover this year. We cover a variety of topics. So geometry, division, estimation, fractions, decimals. percents, organizing data, exponents and negative numbers, area and volume, and probability and ratios. We also on Fridays will always do more of a challenge problem where we're looking at different types of thinking. So one of the things that we've been doing as of late is logic puzzles. So if you've ever seen the grid perplexers come home, what we call them, it's all a logic puzzle. So it's being able to use reasoning to um, find out who was doing what on a specific time of day and things of that nature. So I'm really going to teach these skills that are on the screen, but also really challenge your student in the way they think about math. So how do you help your child in math? One thing to do is make sure to check their planner every night. And if they have that homework each night, make sure to look at what that learning target was for the day to keep you informed about what we're learning in class. Have your child practice their multiplication facts. That's a huge one. When we get to multiplication later on in the year, it's really important that they have those basic facts down. So using flashcards, or I see that there's a typo on the screen that I made, using flashcards or even on IXL. And I would say if you ever have a situation where your student wants to do more math at home but doesn't have necessarily homework, IXL. They all have their IXL login, and the everyday math games online are a great resource. Just with the everyday math games, make sure that your student is logged into their school account on Google. Then they can press the waffle button at the top right hand corner and scroll down to the McGraw-Hill Everyday Math website. And your student will know how to do that. I've showed that in class. Again, if you have any questions or concerns or comments about something in math, please don't hesitate to contact me. My contact information is on the screen right now, and I usually, on the weekends, I can check my emails. I usually check them on Sunday evening, so if it's urgent, I will get back to you on the weekend on a Sunday night. Otherwise, I'm available. Usually I'm here at school by about 7:30, 8, or and I leave around 5:30. So please don't hesitate to contact me. I'll always try to have it within a 24-hour window where I contact you back if you send me an email or give me a call. So again, let's keep that communication line open. Come to those communication nights, sign up for a time if you want to know how your child's doing in math. And I'm looking forward to working with your child as well as you. So have a good rest of the day, and thank you for watching this presentation.